Hello, Easy Enough English members. This is going to be the fourth video in the TOEFL Study Guide video series. Now remember, the TOEFL Study Guide looks like this, okay? It's the sticker's in the way. Cracking the TOEFL IBT test, the Princeton Review, cracking the TOEFL IBT test, okay? Now remember, we're still going over the passage dealing with the poisonous metal mercury. Now, in this video series, I'm going to be talking about all of the questions dealing with that passage. Now, today's video is going to be a little bit easier than the last one because what we have here is another question asking us about what a word in the passage means, right? It's what its closest in meaning to, or what is its synonym. A synonym is a word that means the same thing, okay? So some examples of a synonym might be big, okay, and small, okay? Now, everybody knows what big is, okay? Now, big, another word for big, a synonym for big would be large, okay? Big and large mean the same thing. Small, a synonym for small would be little. Okay? Small and little mean the same things. These are synonyms. Large is a synonym for big. Little is a synonym for small. So this is what today's video is going to be on. Now the question is, the word concentrated in the passage is closest in meaning to A, clustered, B, thought, C, separated, or D, reduced. Now, if you remember, in the last video, we had one of the words concentrated in the choices for a question. And I told you that if something is concentrated, that means it's made stronger than it was before. Okay? Now, I use the word stronger, but stronger is not up here. Notice that it's not one of our choices. So, we need to choose the most appropriate word that means almost the same thing as concentrated, or to make something stronger, okay? Now let's read the sentence that the word is from, okay? The larger the fish and the longer it lives, the more concentrated the methyl mercury in its system becomes. Now remember, methyl mercury comes from phytoplankton eating inorganic and organic material from the bottom of the ocean floor, right? Now, how does the mercury turn into methyl mercury? Because the bacteria in the sediment eat it, and then it becomes more poisonous and toxic, okay? Now, let's talk about some of our choices, and I'm going to give you a synonym for each of these as well. So, clustered, okay? If something is clustered, it's broken up into small groups, right? It's put into small groups. So a cluster would be something like this. You can just have something like this. This is just a cluster of balls, right? Whereas maybe balls would be like this, right? If they're like this, you can think of this as matter, okay? When something is heated, this is basic chemistry, thermodynamics. If a material is heated, what happens to it? It expands. The atoms and molecule, or the atoms, inside the material expand. Okay. Now, when it's cold, when something is cold, it contracts, and the atoms of that material come closer together. Right? Basic thermodynamics. It's the same idea here. If these are atoms, and they're in a cluster, they will come close together like this. Right? This is a cluster of atoms. Okay? This is not a cluster. They're very far apart. Okay? This is what clustered means. A cluster is a noun, but clustered is kind of an adjective. If something is clustered, it's an adjective, meaning it's grouped tightly together. Okay? A thought is just an idea, okay? Separated can be what we used in this example here. Here the atoms are clustered. Here they're separated. So we can draw that picture again. These atoms are separated. They're not close together. They're separated. Okay. And the next one, reduce. Right? That was another word from the last video that we talked about as well. Remember, if something is reduced, it's made smaller. Okay. So we can say to make smaller. Okay. Now that we know what each of these words means, which one is closest in meaning to the word concentrated? Okay. We're talking about methylmercury in the fish's system, in a big fish's body. Okay. And if it becomes, the larger it is, the bigger it is, the longer it lives, the more concentrated the methylmercury becomes. I mean, now, the methylmercury doesn't become stronger in this way because methylmercury can't get stronger. It's not something that can get stronger or you can make stronger. But the amount of mercury can increase or become more. Now, in this example, which one of these words means to become more? Okay. Now, the best answer for this is A, cluster. Because if you look at the picture of my example, you notice that the atoms are packed very tightly together. And when something comes together and more things come, the bigger that thing will get. This is the idea with the methylmercury in the fish's system. The longer it lives and the bigger it gets, the more of that mercury, methylmercury, it has eaten. So the methylmercury will start out like this, but the more it eats, because it lives so long, the methylmercury in the system will get bigger and bigger, and it will cluster. It will come together in a big group, okay, in a concentration, okay. So the closest word in these choices that means concentrated in the reading is cluster. Okay, guys, that's the video. I hope you liked the video. If you do, be sure to leave a comment in the comment section. If you would like to reach me with any tutoring information, you can email me at easyenoughenglish@gmail.com. I'll write that. easyenoughenglish@gmail.com. Or you can shoot me a message through Facebook Messenger. Okay, guys. I hope to hear from you soon. Bye-bye.